Good afternoon, everybody. We're gonna sneak in a little bit of video and a little bit of work outside before the rain comes back. It's been raining all day long. So we're excited to get a few minutes outside. We've got Liam with me. Say hi.
Hi.
He's a little nervous, a little camera shy. So we're just gonna go over to our garden. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a tour of our raised bed area. Hopefully this wind is not too loud. Turn it around. So here we go. We have an electric fence that is portable and keeps our goats and our chickens out of our garden. It's made by Premier One. If anyone's interested in that, I can share the link. But here's our raised bed garden. These are cedar beds. They're 8x4. We have 8 of them, and we made this wide enough that we could get our little subcompact tractor in here and be able to really easily do some work. So we'll go along the side over here. We've got raspberry? Blackberry. We've got raspberry. Oh gosh. We have blackberry bushes over here, which is just to the outside of our raised bed. Uh-oh, we've got mushrooms growing in our raised bed too. It's mushroom compost. I don't know. Our raised beds, we installed, for our raised beds, we installed irrigation. Again, that's pretty consistent with our approach. We want to make things as easy and simple as possible. We want to be able to water our beds really easily and grow this food very easily. So we're trying to lower our barrier to entry and lower the things that we have to do to maintain. So Esther, do you want to give us a tour of the raised beds?
Sure. These are our dark green zucchini. This is amaranth. We're about to start thinning everything pretty soon. This is Jericho lettuce, I think. Carrots, beets are up here. More carrots on the edge. California Wonder, red, sweet, what do you call them, peppers? Orange and yellow peppers. Where'd this come from?
That is a plant I picked up. I cheated. I bought a plant because I was worried that my hot peppers weren't going to start. So I bought one and planted it as if it were my own.
And left your trash too, I see. You can hold on to that.
We'll upcycle it.
These are our bush beans that I need to thin also. We gotta get to our chickens. Plants are looking good. Pinto beans, peanuts.
Pinto beans and peanuts.
Oh my gosh, these have grown so much with the last. Look,
these are our tomatoes. Hey, tomatoes are coming on.
Tie those on, trellis those up.
Yeah, they're getting weighty.
Yeah, onion, carrot.
This is onion here, carrot here.
Lettuce. Look at our.
And we've got more lettuce. We're trying to get more lettuce in our life. One other thing that I wanted to talk about in here is money. So we built these raised beds for about, I'm going to show you the beds themselves again. We built these beds for about $45 a piece. That's me accounting for the 4x4s that we used as support. So we have 4x4 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 per bed, and then we use tongue and groove. So for $55 a piece, we built beds that'll last hopefully about 10 years. Cedar lasts a long time because it's fairly rot resistant. So again, hopeful it'll last us about 10 years. But I want that to encourage you guys that it doesn't take a lot of money. Even if we just spent a little bit of the time that we're on Facebook, looking on Facebook Marketplace for the things that we feel like we're supposed to pursue, I'm telling you, it would make such a big difference. I found all of this wood on Facebook Marketplace. The tongue and groove I bought for is probably a third of the cost that I would have had to pay at Home Depot if I had to go buy cedar from Home Depot. And so for $500, I got a load of cedar. Now I do have a trailer to pull it on, so that's one you know, threshold issue for some people, but find a friend who has a trailer. You know, again, we feel community is such a strong part of this. It's so important that we engage in community. All right, and we're done. We finished the trellising. Our tomatoes are finally starting to crawl up our cattle panel that we've installed here. So
we've like never eaten
we've
tomatoes.
never done this. We don't even eat tomatoes.
Grown tomatoes.
We're gonna learn to like them because we put in so much effort here, but we don't really like tomatoes. I'm just kidding. We got paste, Amish paste tomatoes. We really like sauce, carby, pasta, stuff like that. We don't really eat tomatoes just by themselves. Although we did get a couple of tomato plants by themselves that, I don't know, maybe I'll channel my inner Glenn and start to like tomatoes and vinegar and salt and pepper. But
that's that heritage. You'll have to pull on the Eastern North Carolina.
That's
heritage.
right.
You know, we do like what is it? Mozzarella, tomato, basil, mozzarella.
Tomato and basil and mozzarella. I can get behind that.
Maybe we can.
But mainly the basil and mozzarella.
Yeah. So I think we have basil, so we
do have basil.
I don't know about the mozzarella part.
We'll have to buy that.
Might be a little bit further off from
that. So yeah, I think that's everything. I mean, I just wanted to give you guys. Everyone wanted to see what the garden looked like. This is just one piece of it. This is our raised beds. So, and I gave you a breakdown of the cost. So go do this yourselves. It's easy. It's not hard. We've helped some friends do that too, mainly in sourcing the lumber. So. One other thing I wanted to ask, if you guys could give us some feedback on, would it be helpful to explore more of these things, like buying the lumber for raised beds and how we did that? I've actually made money off of the lumber that I've bought to build some of the stuff that we're pursuing. And so would that be helpful as like some business videos maybe on, you know, local things that you can do, flips, you know, things you can flip? Would that be something that interests people? If you guys could hit us up in the comment section, that'd be great. Okay, we're on to our next thing for the day. Today's gonna be draft day for our breast chickens. We're gonna pick the ones who we're gonna keep for breeding, or we're gonna do an initial draft.
Maybe we won't. We're gonna observe. We're not quite ready to decide anybody's fate fully yet, but basically right now we have 21 from this group of breast chickens, and they eat a lot, and so I kind of want to make sure that our other chickens aren't competing too much for food. And then we can also take a closer look at them to say, okay, like who's a nice rooster, who's grown the fastest, like, you know, kind of what, because
there are all kinds of traits that you want for meat birds. You want them to grow quickly so that you're having to feed them less food to get them to the point where they can feed you. And then you also want them to be nice, because no one wants a jerk for a chicken. So
no, unless you like jerk chicken.
Great dad joke. All right, we're down here at our mobile chicken coop. We call this the Chickshaw.
It's a Justin Rhodes design, so we did not design this. And I clearly did not install the hardware super straight. But this is our breast chicken takeover. So this is why we're moving them. So this chickshaw actually is where our death layer chicks, these little orange ones, if you want to show them. The orange ones were living in this one, but now we have the breast chickens have kind of taken over everywhere. So we're gonna give them their own space, their own fencing. Yeah, so it would be easier to do this at night when everybody goes in and is sleepy and cooperative.
Well, pause on that for a second. Not everyone knows, but chickens get really calm at night. They get really sleepy and they're super nice. Pretty much all chickens are nice at night. So even the meanest of roosters, you want to go move them at night.
But
we'll give you a tour
because
here.
It's gonna probably be raining tonight, I think we're gonna take advantage of the not rain right now and kind of daylight and everything. So we'll see if we can get the chickens sorted. All right.
All right, so we're done. We moved the breast chickens and the chickshaw to our front yard, and this is where we'll keep them. We'll keep them separate just because it's a little much having that many chickens in the backyard. These are our meat birds, so we're constantly gonna have a lot of these guys. And so it's just helpful to have a separate space for them. So once I get an energizer for this fence, I have one in the garage, I just haven't hooked it up. But once we get that energizer, we'll hook that up and then let these guys out, and we'll move the fencing every few days or so.
You have some eggs? Yeah. Can you be careful with the eggs?
Yeah. So sweet. Here's another egg.
Another egg? Okay, thank you. Here. Any more? You sweetie, that's sweetie.
That curls. That's sweetie.
I just got you clean.
That's sweetie, Mom. That's sweetie. That's curl.
Yeah.
That's girl. That girl.
That's a girl.
Yeah. That's curl. She has